nothing away from this weekend. I hope that you'll take away just a few words of what I'm going to share with you. So I hope everyone will listen closely. My name's Bridget, and this is my 4th 3-day for the cure. I'm here with Margot's team, the $1 Million Baby. Tomorrow is going to be a long day because we don't have the inspiration of opening or the inspiration of closing ceremonies. And so I'm here to make sure that you guys stay motivated on what is sure to be one of the longer days of a long day. Why do I walk? I walk because on June 3rd, 2005, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was 21 years old. It was 2 weeks after my graduation from college. I had no family history of the disease. I had found a lump in my left breast 6 months earlier. I had gone to see a nurse shortly after finding it, but was reassured by several medical professionals that because of my young age, they were sure that it was benign. That lump was not benign, and not a day goes by when I don't think about what might have happened if I had been sent for a mammogram immediately. But I wasn't sent for a mammogram for 6 months. And so on June 3rd, 2005, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. I had a 3-centimeter tumor in my liver. My longtime family doctor ran his hands through his hair and said, "I just don't know what to do with you." He said this was incurable. He said I would never finish chemo. He said that chemo would not kill the cancer, but simply keep it at bay for as long as possible. I was told by several doctors I have a 16% chance of celebrating my 30th birthday. But that is when I found the Susan G. Komen 3-Day for the Cure community. Yes! I was helpless. I was young and scared, and I felt all alone. But the 3-Day for the Cure family adopted me. I found that by walking and by fundraising, by sharing in your passion, I no longer felt helpless anymore. The 3-Day for the Cure makes me feel like I'm a partner in my care. I'm right there alongside my doctors, making sure that they have the money that they need to keep me alive. I'd love to tell you that I'm standing here now 6 years later cancer-free, but the fight against breast cancer is hard. A drug will work for a time, and then the cancer will figure out what we're doing and it will grow. Because my cancer was diagnosed late, the cancer has control of my body. The doctors do the best that they can, but then all they can do is hope and pray and watch. In the past 6 years, I've had 5 recurrences, 7 surgeries, 30 rounds of radiation, and enjoyed 11 different chemotherapy cocktails. I got engaged in December of 2008. Yeah! But 2 weeks after the proposal, I got word that the chemotherapy I was on had stopped working. I was suddenly planning dress fittings around surgery. I was trying on dresses with drains hanging off of my body. My now husband, who's over there, and he's really cute. Most fun stuff. He handled the menu tastings because my taste buds had changed from the new chemotherapy. That's what it means to not have a cure for breast cancer. I live my life around my chemotherapy appointments. My doctors granted me 2 weeks off of chemo, the most time I've ever had in the past 6 years, to get married and to go on my honeymoon. It was so wonderful to not only get married, but to also feel like I was only 26. I felt my own age for the first time in years. That was the best day of my life. But after we got home from the honeymoon, I had a scan, and the scan showed that my 6 months of chemo had not worked. I'm now enrolled in a clinical trial, funded in part by the money that you are raising today. For the first time in 5 years, the cancer is shrinking. What we are doing today is working. It is making a difference. It is giving me one more year with my now husband. But we don't yet have a cure for breast cancer. 2 years ago, I walked for the first time in Washington, D.C. with a beautiful woman named Cecily. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. She was diagnosed early. I was diagnosed late. I spent the whole 3 days reassuring her that she was gonna be just as fabulous as I was with hair, and it was gonna be wonderful. But 6 months after we crossed that finish line, Cecily lost her battle. She was diagnosed early and I was diagnosed late. The doctors can't understand it, but that is what it means to live in a world without a cure, and we need a cure. I hope my cancer keeps shrinking. Maybe one day it'll just shrink away and disappear as quietly as it arrived. My new husband Alex and I talk often about what we would do if I were given just one more year. About puppies, a house with a yard, red-headed babies that look just like him. And I pray for that every night before I go to bed, just for one more year. In our darkest hours, Alex and I have prayed for just one more day together. Alex is walking in his first 3-day for the cure this year. And my mom is walking with me too. Just like me.
Daddy!
My team, the $1 Million Babies, in Cecily's honor, have raised more than $85,000. The 3-day for the cure used to be the crazy thing I did that no one could understand. No one understood why I couldn't just walk away and close that cancer door. But now, after 2 of the hardest, sickest years of my life, Alex gets it and he's walking with me. This is our shared fight. And I hope that if I lose this battle, that he'll continue to walk in my memory. But when you face death, you take a moment and you take stock of your life and you say, what have I accomplished? I walk with you all today, even though I'm sick, because this is my young life's greatest accomplishment. The $2,500 I've raised this year, the almost $10,000 I've raised in the past 4 years, the thousands of miles I've walked and trained, these are my last words. I am standing up here today and saying, I was here. Today I made a difference. I might not be here tomorrow, but for one day, I am leaving this world a better place than I found it. And that's what all of you are doing here today. The 3-day for the cure is my legacy. I hope that you will join Alex and join me in this fight. No mother should watch her daughter suffer as my mom has. No honeymoon should be cut short. Every child deserves a lifetime with her mother, which Cecily's children do not have. And I walk because it's not just me who deserves a lifetime. Everyone deserves a lifetime. I know dedicating months of your life to fundraising and training is not an easy thing to do, and you could have done anything else with your year. You could be any number of places this weekend, but you are here fighting with me. And for that, I thank you.
Thank you
So much.